Leopards, this is the connection activity that accompanies chapters 1 and 2 of Felix's Flying Suitcase Adventure. So hopefully you listened to that chapter reading in lesson 7 and submitted your selfie of you waving at Felix so that you have your homework done and your head is full of Felix knowledge and ready to create glow-in-the-dark castles. Our inspiration comes from Felix's adventures as he traveled from Germany to Transylvania, which is part of Romania, where he saw Dracula's castle. In real life, that's called Bran Castle, and I have an example of Bran Castle underneath this video. I also have 2 examples of castles from Germany. One is Neuschwanstein, which is Walt Disney's inspiration for the Cinderella Castle at Walt Disney World and Walt Disneyland. There's another one from Germany that's not nearly as famous, but it has a great roof line. And you first grade artists are going to have to pay attention to those roof lines, so you choose the one that you like best. Does it have towers? Does it have castle block? What type of roof line do you like best? In my room, you're going to choose a pattern, a tracer with your favorite roof line from Bran Castle, Neuschwanstein, and others. If you're at home, you're going to just draw your favorite roof line from the examples under this video. If you are working from home, we are using glow-in-the-dark paper in my art room. I will make some available to you by putting it in my mailbox in the office here at Lantern Road. If your parents would like to pick up a piece of that paper for you, perfect. If you never get a piece of that paper, or you don't have any, or you don't want to pick it up, any paper is fine, as long as you keep your roof line drawing super close to the top. We want to turn your paper into a castle with very little cutting and very little drawing to cut something out. We're going to use the edges of the paper to turn them into the edges of the castle. As we get going, there are some other things you're going to definitely need. In the art room, we're going to draw with pencil. We're also going to have an eraser handy because we are going to want to erase any pencil lines that are hanging around at the end of our Sharpie work, which is another item you need. In my room, we're using Sharpie permanent marker. If you're at home and you have glow-in-the-dark paper especially, you need Sharpie or Marks-A-Lot. Those are both permanent. No Crayola, no rose art, nothing water-based. It has to be permanent. If you don't have a permanent marker, switch to crayon instead. We know that that is also permanent and it will cover pencil lines well. Now my new camera holder means that I need to bend this down so that you can see me drawing and you can see things with the correct view. So here we go, get ready. And there may be an adjustment or two just to make sure that my paper and my tracer are centered. So let me get a good look now. With my glow-in-the-dark paper, here in the art room, you'll find your pattern matches your paper exactly. I'm going to trace my castle block, which means because the sides of my paper become the sides of my castle, and the bottom of my tracer shows you the bottom of my paper becomes the bottom of my castle, I only have 2 little squares to trace. Now I'm going to cut these away. Take your time. Cutting is something we all need to practice. Devices have made us great at tapping and swiping, and because we're so great at that, many of us have not practiced cutting. Even Mrs. Billman takes it slowly. I want my castle to look great, and cutting slowly is how that happens. You may keep your little glow-in-the-dark papers because this does glow very, very well. With my castle ready to go, I need to start adding details in pencil that a castle would have. I don't know which details you prefer. Do you prefer a drawbridge or a regular door? Do you prefer windows? Most castle windows that I've seen, the 2 times I've been to Europe, are up high, so no one can get in, but someone inside can see out. Lots of castles do not have a porch light. They have a torch light. So I'm going to draw a flame and a torch. And you are welcome to make your castle spooky, but never in the art room scary or gory. In other words, no blood. This is supposed to be fun, not frightening. If you do not want a spooky castle, go ahead and design a princess in the window, or a prince or a king. Maybe there's a unicorn sitting right here by a door that's much smaller than my drawbridge. I don't know because I'm not you. So your details are gonna go on here how you like them. I put a fall pumpkin in one window. That's definitely not scary. I'm gonna make a long window right here that I've never seen on a castle before, but I'm going to draw a princess here. I'm gonna make her curly hair with my marker mostly, and I'm gonna make her scarf from her hat blowing in the breeze. When I get my marker ready, I'm gonna do something that you already have done in kindergarten. If you have a great memory, you probably remember going over pencil lines with a permanent marker on our kimono project last school year. So I'm covering every pencil line because for whatever reason, this glow-in-the-dark paper causes pencil lines to really smear. See where my hand's already smeared this one? Probably should have started at the bottom. Keep that smearing under control so I'm not setting my hand in it. If you're using regular paper, you don't have to worry about that. I used these lines on my drawbridge to make it look like it's made out of wood. So it doesn't matter if they're a little wiggly. Wood is not cut perfectly 600 years ago. And wood warps over time. So these probably wouldn't be perfectly straight. No need for a ruler. This even takes Mrs. Billman a while. And right now is when I mention, this probably takes 2 or even 3 art room visits to do this whole project. So please don't you dare think I expect you to sit down, trace or draw a roof line, cut it, and draw details and go over them with permanent marker, all in one sitting or all in one art class. I do not. I care about quality, and so should you. And quality art very, very rarely happens fast. I'm working quickly to keep the video as short as I can, but still get you good directions. If you're using crayon, that's fine as an alternative. Just be aware that it may not be as pointed and sharp as a Sharpie or a Marks-a-Lot. And you might have trouble getting your crayon into some small spaces, like my princess's eyes. Just be aware of that. So with my haunted castle or spooky castle or regular castle finished, you can see where I've got some smudgy pencil. I'd like to control that a little bit, so I'm gonna go to work with a good eraser. It won't remove every bit of pencil, folks. It's because the glow-in-the-dark paper just holds on to some of it, but not all of it. So clean it up as best you can and remove some of that smeared pencil to neaten up, clean up your castle. Now, I would love to show you how well this paper glows. However, I'm filming in the art room, and the art room has skylights. It is not dark in this room when I am teaching, ever. So even if I turned out any lights I've got, the sun is still shining through the roof. So you will have to trust me that it glows very well. And if you are at home and you have picked up a piece of this, you'll need to test it out by getting it under a lamp, under some light, and having the glow-in-the-dark paper soak up some good light first, and then take it into a dark room and see how greatly it glows. Good luck, artists.